Welcome back, YouTube, to the second half of the all-time players, top 10 defensive ends of all time, top 10 linebackers, top 10 cornerbacks, and top 10 safeties of all time. And then tomorrow will be my mock draft, and then the day after that, I will do top 10 players of all time. And then in that same video, I'll do my Mount Rushmore. I'll put 4 people on the Mount Rushmore. I already got an idea who I'm gonna do, but let's start with top 10 defensive ends. Reggie White, number 1. I think there's no argument. He's number 1 in sacks with 200, and right behind him is Bruce Smith, number 2 in sacks with 198. Then I'm gonna go with number 3. I was debating on number 3, making it Strahan, Watt, O'Donnell, but I'm gonna go with Strahan because when Strahan was in the league, he was definitely one of the best. What I remember of him, he was one of the best defensive linemen of all time. So I'm gonna put him at 3. 4, J.J. Watt. Speaking of J.J. Watt got cut by the Texans. Texans saved $17 million in dead cap. It was a good move for the Texans, and I'm glad they let him get. JJ gets to choose where he wants to go. Like he gets to end his career on the high road, and he doesn't have to go with that dysfunctional organization. Jack Eeks to be Jesus Turts guy who doesn't need to be GM. So they need to fire him if they want to do anything well. 5, Aaron Donald. The best people. I am actually like really mad how people think that TJ Watt got robbed. TJ Watt didn't get robbed. If you watch Aaron Donald, he gets triple teamed damn near every play, and he's still putting up numbers that a defensive lineman would put up. And he's a defensive tackle. He got triple teamed against the Seahawks, and he still got a sack on the same play. Like, he's rightfully deserves his defensive player of the year. If anything, Xavier Howard got robbed because he had 10 picks. I think Xavier Howard was the second person that should have won defensive player of the year. 6, Deacon Jones. Didn't really watch him. I knew he was like dominant at his position, though. I know his calls in Madden always monstrous, and Mutt usually get the overalls right. Not the game, not the roster, but Mutt usually gets the overalls right. 7, Julius Peppers, one of my favorite defensive linemen to watch. I love Julius Peppers. Fun player for the Panthers and the Bears, both teams, so he definitely deserves a spot on this. 8, Jared Allen, very underrated. I was thinking about not putting him in the top 10, but like he's a very underrated defensive end. He was a great defensive end, so I'll put him in there. 9, Khalil Mack for the Raiders and Bears. Probably him and JJ. The most dominant, him, JJ, and Donald, the most dominant defensive linemen in the past 10 years. And 10, Jock Youngblood. Didn't really watch him. Knew he was dominant, though. Top 10 linebackers. Lawrence Taylor, the most dominant defender I've ever witnessed in any highlight video. He is the most dominant defensive player ever. Like, teams had to, like, change play styles because of him. They had to get better off of the tackles because of him, how dominant he was. So he's number 1 best linebacker. And he was a pass rusher, and he could intercept. 2, Ray Lewis. Honestly, what else is other to say than he won the 2000 Super Bowl and 2010 Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember, but he is like the textbook for linebackers, like for hitting. Like the league was, when he was still in the league was changing where you couldn't hit in the head. But like he was the textbook for a perfect tackle. Like if you wanted to learn how to tackle, you learn from him. He was that man. 3, Jack Lambert. Didn't really watch him. I knew he was a dominant defender on all the Steelers old teams. Steelers used to have a tremendous defense. There's gonna be another Steelers down here. 4, Mike Singletary. He was on the 84 Bears that won 77 to nothing. So obviously he had a dominant defense. He won 77 to nothing. 5, Derek Brooks for the Tampa Bay, won the Super Bowl 2001. Oh, no, 2002. It was somewhere in the 2001, 2003 range. Yeah, but he's a great player. 6, Jack Ham, another great Steeler. 7, Brian Urlacher. Now, I watched a little bit of Brian Urlacher, and I know he was an all-time great, so he just rightfully deserves to be in the top 10. 8, Ted Hendricks, didn't really watch. 9, Derek Thomas for the Chiefs. And 10, one of my favorite Cowboys of all time, DeMarcus Ware. Love that man. He did so much for us. He went to the Broncos and won the Super Bowl, which he deserves. Great guy. Top 10 CBs. I think this list was pretty easy. So, 1, Night Train Lane, the Dick Lane. 2, Deion the Primetime Sanders, which still debating to put him on my Mount Rushmore because when he was in the league, one of the funnest, most entertaining players to watch. He could play offense, defense, special teams, everything. He was a great player. 3, Rod Woodson, another great Steeler. 4, Darrelle Revis, probably the best lockdown corner of all time that I've watched. Probably the best lockdown corner of all time. 5, Charles Woodson, repping Fremont, Ohio. Shout out. 6, Mel Blount, another great Steeler. Still, his defenses were disgusting. I think he played with the Raiders too. Also, I'm not really sure, but I think he did. 7, Champ Bailey, one of my favorite players. 8, Ty Law for the Patriots. 9, Willie Brown for the Raiders. 10, Rondé Barber with the Buccaneers. And now, go to top 10 safeties. Ed Reed, I think there's no doubt. Ed Reed is a human ball hawk. He's the best corner of all time. 2, Ronnie Lott, 49ers, legend. Troy Polamalu, pretty sure he just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Great safety for the Steelers. Steelers have a lot of defenders on here. That's crazy. 4, Paul Krause for the Vikings. 5, Brian Dawkins, great hard-hitting safety. And at 6, another great hard-hitting safety, Steve Atwater. 7, Ken Houston. 8, Sean Taylor. May his soul rest in peace. It was honestly so sad to see him go at such a young age because he had a whole dominant career left. So that's sad. 9, Ronnie Harrison for the Patriots. 10, Larry Wilson for the Cardinals. Those are my top 10 all-time defensive players at positions. That will be the end of the video. Be on the lookout for the mock draft tomorrow, and have a great day and peace.